Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. Then make sure you definitely check out Keith at 93 Lumber. What's up, Keith? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Yeah, same, man. Same. This is where we pretend we weren't just talking before we hit record. So,
Yeah.
first time seeing you forever, man, and have not talked to you. So I'm super stoked. This is Free Will Ralphius, which typically fan favorite. And this one, so Keith scored these. So as always, thank you, Keith. This is the cherry brandy one, which I mean, any brandy, but I don't know how much cherry brandy beer I've ever had. Imperial Stout aged for 1 year in a cherry brandy barrel. I'm not going to read the tasting notes. Looks like maybe 14.8%. It's very tiny font, but I think it's 14.8%.
It might be a 9.
Maybe it's a 9.
It's one of those. It's 8 or
14
9.
point something squiggly, and this is a 2024, I should say.
It's roughly 15%.
Roughly 15%, yeah. All right, let's get going, man. I just did a lot of the talking, and Keith will definitely be chiming in. Yeah, I'm super cool, too. I haven't had a Ralphius in a bit, so I'm excited for that. I was gonna bring up my stopper. It doesn't matter. So I didn't pour super aggressive, and neither did you. But I don't know how much. Even if we were more aggressive, I don't know how much more of a head we would have gotten.
Yeah, I just got like a light film across.
Right? Yeah, not much. Here, do you want to talk about what the beer looks like?
Looks like a Imperial Stout. It's dark. It's black. There's some brown.
Like when you hold it up to the light, there's some brown, but it's still pretty black. Even when you like really, sorry, I have to do it off camera, but it's dark.
It's like and the brown that I'm getting, it's not like through the beer. It like looks like it's like reflecting off the glass or something. So it's like
it's like this is if I was doing this solo, this is the only thing I would probably say about it. You don't have to agree with me, or you can. Is I'd be like, this is as close to motor oil as possible. Like when people describe beer, like without it quite being motor oil, because there's just a little bit of brown. But it's motor oily for sure.
Yeah.
Anything else about the appearance before we smell it?
No, I don't think so.
All right, let's get in on that aroma, Keith.
There may be a like reddish tinge to the little bit of head that's in there.
I like that note. Yeah, I don't know if it's coming across on camera, guys, but he is right about that. I like that. All right. Did you go first for the look, or did I go first? I'm trying to go back and forth.
Yeah.
So I'll go.
You're up.
I get barrel, like actual barrel. Now, I'm not talking even about the cherry brandy yet. I get a good amount of wood barrelness. I don't want to take everything. I don't know. Like I was saying before, I don't know cherry brandy super well. I do get a little bit of cherry. I think if I was doing this blind, I would think it was cherry wood because I've had some beers that were cherry wood aged.
Right.
And then chocolate. I don't want to say anything more, just to give you options to say things. Okay, so those are some of the first things I'm getting.
You made it seem like you didn't say all the things, but you pretty much said all the things. I did have a Ralphius recently. It was, I don't remember. I don't remember which one it was, but this smells like Ralphius with a little bit of cherry. It's got the big chocolate. You get the barrel, like you mentioned, and then you get a little bit of cherry.
A little bit of roast.
Yeah, roast. I was just going to say that.
Sorry, but like because when you said it smells like Ralphius with some cherry, I'm kind of like trying to do my word bank for Ralphius. But I haven't had one as recently as you. roasty without it coming across like coffee or anything, though. Like it's not that intense, but there's a roast.
Yeah, and I think it's somewhere between the roastiness and the barrel. There's like an earthy. Are you the one who uses like the mulch?
Mulch, yeah. I knew you were gonna say that, yeah. But I didn't want to steal a tasting note again from you. So I'm like, yes, say it, yes, yeah. You know, and okay, so admittedly, I'm not trying to rush this part. Admittedly, I am thirsty, but I am noticing that as I'm smelling it, it is like I'm salivating, and like it really is a very inviting aroma. And again, it might be just because I'm really thirsty, period. Like even for water, like I'm just thirsty right now.
Right.
But that's a sensation I don't always get. So it's like I should probably comment on that because even one of the times I got my nose in there, I don't know how much it came across on camera. I almost started like lowering it to take a little sip, and I'm like, no, we're not there yet. Like subconsciously, like it wasn't like I could sneak a little sip in there. It was like, oh wait, no. I wonder if it's the cherry thing. And I very rarely drink soda, and if I do, it's like root beer. For some reason, it's kicking a little bit of like a cherry cola thing, like aroma, which I have almost no experience with because I hate cola, and I don't even, I've probably smelled it just from like maybe someone next to me opening a can. So I don't know if it's just like a little cola-y and then the cherry something in cherry cola-y.
That's interesting because when you said cola and I went in, like I get what you're talking about. It comes off a little bit like black licorice / molasses.
Dude, like I get your molasses thing. The black licorice, that's the aha moment for me of what you just said. Yeah, like all right, so going back, maybe not cherry cola, it makes going back to root beer. Not that it smells super like root beer, but it makes me think of sometimes you'll have it where they use actual botanicals and stuff in the root beer. They might even use some hops.
Yeah.
And like the licorice in that wheelhouse. That's a good pull, dude. In the spirit of this beer is making me salivate. I wouldn't mind diving into the taste, but you're going to give the first thoughts. Okay. I promise. All right. Let's see if we can do it. I already went the wrong way. Clink. All right. Cheers. Thank you again for hooking me up with this.
You're welcome. Cheers. All right. I'm gonna say, I think I've said this about every Ralphius I've had so far from 2024. It's a little thin, just a little bit, but it tastes awesome.
Yeah. Okay. So we had a similar thought because when I was saying the motor oil for the color, not the viscosity, like it does not that. And sure enough, with the sip, yeah, it's a little thin. And I think like you were getting at the flavor more than makes up for it. I'm not like, would I take a more viscous beer for sure, but I'm not like, it's not thin enough where it's affecting the taste negatively, like it's watery or something. Yeah.
Right. Cherry doesn't come off like maybe a little bit in towards the finish, but like the cherry doesn't come off like cough syrup or anything like that.
Yeah. I think that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I think a lot of them have been like this, but it's a bit more roasty than the aroma would lead you to believe.
I agree with that. The coffee syrup. So to me, it's like the aroma where I'm getting a lot of wood and then like a little bit of a cherry thing. And the finish is pretty long. It's been a bit since I've had a sip. And that to me, like you were getting at, is the closest where it gets cough syrupy because it's like a little bit of the alcohol mixing with a little bit of cherry, but it's not medicinal. It's not like that, much. It's, I don't know, 10% that thing. And then the rest of it's like a cherry brandy barrel aged stout, like it's negligible. And you know what? I don't hate cough syrup. Like I don't chug it. No one get worried
Right.
about me. But like if I am sick and I take some NyQuil that's cherry flavored, I'm not mad at the end of the night, or at the beginning of the night, the end of my day, going to sleep. I'm not mad at that sip too much. Is my point.
Yeah.
I don't get a ton of chocolate. Not that the aroma had a ton, but I do get some. Like it's not void of it, but it's
Yeah.
not like some chocolate bomb. I'm not getting like 8 different kinds. I gotta be like, it's brownie batter, but then also slightly cooked brownies, and then it's fudgy, and it's Hershey's syrup, but it's also Hershey's milk. Like it's just there is like a generic chocolatiness, and it's not a huge part of it for me.
I'm going to change what I said a little bit. Like it's not, because the roastiness, it's roasty. It's a little more roasty than the aroma still, but it's bitter, like almost like leaning towards Russian Imperial Stout bitter.
That's interesting. Yeah, I
was just gonna say, because I'm not getting roast with all of the bitterness. Like you get like roastiness and bitterness up front, and then it just goes to roast, just goes to bitter.
Yeah. That's basically what I was just going to say. Yeah. So the only thing I would add to that is, like I said, with the aroma, it doesn't, like if I was doing this blind, I don't think I'd be like, it's a coffee stout, like it's not that roasty,
Yeah.
I like that bitter element. That's another one. This is why these are fun when you do it with someone else, because I wouldn't have honed in on the bitterness, but when you said it's like there is that bitterness to this. That's true. Because in my mind, I'm like, this is a relatively sweet beer. It's not full on dessert beer, but it's a little sweet. But there is a nice bitterness to it also.
Yeah, it's our cherry brandy barrels charred, because I do get a little bit of just a little, maybe not quite char, but yeah.
Yeah, I could see the flavor. If the same flavor that I'm thinking of that you're talking about, I could see the base beer kicking that out. I could also see char kicking that out. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes, cherry brandy barrels are typically charred on the inside.
Oh, okay. Well, I get a little bit of char then.
Courtesy of Midwest Supplies. The 5-gallon sized American oak barrels are charred on the inside. There you go. Good pull, Keith. That was awesome. Are we cool if I read the tasting notes, or do you want to give any other thoughts before we look at what they said? It's okay if you do.
No, I'm good.
The only thing I just got thinking about stuff we said in the aroma. Are we getting in the taste? I get a little bit of that black licorice thing. I don't think we mentioned that in the taste at all.
Yeah, it's not as it's more of a background flavor, or it's more mixed in part of the
interwoven. Yeah, for me. Yeah. It's there. There might be slight peaks and valleys, but it is pretty continuously there. Notes of cherry bark, like cherry tree bark, or like how people make that like bark at Christmas time where it's chocolate based. I don't know what cherry bark, what they mean by that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Red leather. I don't know. I don't know.
It's like
is it like
it's not really leathery. I don't get.
And what would red leather be?
The thing that comes to mind is it called leather? Fruit leather.
That's okay. That's what I was thinking. So I looked up red leather food, and it says stuff like raspberry fruit leather. Like there's nothing's coming up with red leather as its own thing. So maybe they are saying it has a leather, which I know stouts can have. I mean, it's been a while since I tasted leather, and I don't know if I know the difference between leather and red leather. Kind of a few decades probably anyway, since I was like a little kid and like just what does this taste like? And chocolate covered cherries. I mean, that's an obvious one. That makes sense. I would put that because there's a little bit of chocolate, there's a little bit of cherries.
Yeah.
But yeah, cherry bark. Like the woodiness of a cherry tree's bark.
That's what I would assume. That's what I would think. Because there's
So wild cherry bark is most widely known as a cough suppressant. So it is a thing that people apparently,
right.
gnaw on, suck on, whatever. Okay, so I don't know if I've ever had that life experience, so I can't pull from that. But like I already said, it to me, it's like the cherry wood thing. If I was doing this blind, I'd probably be like, "Oh, is this like dog or Goose Island's cherry wood bourbon barrel aged stout they did because like it's a little cherry-y interwoven with the wood so nicely." So I think that's a similar tasting note, just described two different ways.
Yeah, I guess cherry bark is better than cough syrup as a tasting note.
Yeah. Yes. Are you a degenerate who loves to chug cough syrup? You'll love this beer, but it would be cheaper just to buy some NyQuil.
Yeah. Yep.
I do. Yeah, I think this is. I'd put this in the quite good column. I would put this in the different, yet good. Like not different for the sake of being different, but it's also different from a lot of the barrel aged stouts I've had.
Mm-hmm.
I guess ever, because again, I don't know how many I've ever had that were aged in cherry wood. I think my sweet spot would be if this was a blend with a bourbon barrel aged version, also, or if this had like double barrel aged. I am hearing Cooper getting ready to want to get out of his kennel. He went to the bathroom like 20 minutes ago, so he's probably okay. But just to wrap it up, it hides the alcohol well. I think for how high it is, it hides it well. That's about everything. I mean, we did make a point to say everything before the tasting notes, but is there anything you want to add before we wrap this up officially?
I am a little surprised of the amount of barrel that I'm getting, though.
It's a lot.
It's just I don't know. I don't know if it's I guess it's the barrel itself.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely like we got done the aroma quickly, we got done the taste quickly.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I have to wrap it up. He's making any more noise. All right. So Keith, thanks again for the beer. I appreciate it, brother. Guys, make sure you check out Keith, Night Through Lumber. It's right on the screen. It's easy, but I'll put it so you can just click on it. I'll at him. Once you're done checking him out, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, Keith. Thanks again, man. I appreciate it.
Cheers.